Hello and welcome to the 6th round of the World Touring Masters. We're here today at the beautiful and very, very fast Salzburgring. I'm joined in the booth by Mr. Keith Barrick.
Hey there, Ryan. How you doing?
Once again, good to have you, Keith. Here are the championship standings after the 9th race of the season and the 5th round at Pukekohe. And Peter Davila has an excellent lead at the top of the table. 72 points, in fact, over Toby Davis. Ben Crooks has jumped up to the 3rd position after his double win at Pukekohe. Reigning champion Gregory de Grief has dropped down to 4th position, so not going well for him there, and also he'll be absent for this round, so that's a big loss for him, and his championship hopes have now pretty much dwindled to nothing. Chris Butcher has leapt up to 5th after 2 good results at Pukekohe. Round of the top 10 is Helen, Simons, Lennon, Ojala and Volkov. Vanderlinde, our race winner at the race 2 of Laguna Seca, is 11th, with Steve Davis in 12th. Anders Nielsen, the hard-charging, spectacular Anders Nielsen in 13th. Jay Adjit and Andy Oakley, 14th and 15th, both very respectable and solid throughout the entire season. Yari Venari and his Holden, who'll be looking forward to this event at Salzburgring, is in 16th. And rounding up top 20 is Dobbing, Egbeer, Stembeck and Tim Brook. How do you see this event going, Keith? It's obviously a very, very fast track, and there's plenty of straights for the Sierras, the Fords, and the Rovers to the Sierras, the Holdens, and the Rovers to stretch their legs, isn't there?
Well, I mean, it's a really interesting track because there is one main straight, and the other part of the quote unquote straights, you're basically turning the whole way around the track, and looking from above at this track, there really is. There's 2 main passing spots, turn 1, turn 5. If you can really get a run down the straight going into turn 11, but the problem is it's a long radius corner, and there's no real definitive hard braking zones that other than 1, 5, and maybe 12 that allow for people to get inside. So I think it's going to be a race of keeping your car together, not dropping wheels, because that's where you're going to be overtaken, is when you make a small error on one of these twisty long straights here.
We are joined in this round for 2 guys who've joined up for the latter half of the season. That's Wayne Morgan, who's driving for THR, also as well in the race department, the World V8 Supercar, 2011. And of course ATCC champion Jesper Torborg, who set the fastest time so far in this session. You know all about Jesper, of course, Keith?
Of course I do. I mean, he's proven himself in ATCC this season by coming back from some adversity at the start of the season, a disconnect. And just proved to be the champion of that league, hands down. There was no doubt in my mind that he deserved it from the middle of the season on. He did everything needed to do to win the championship, and I expect to see him run here, and I would expect him to challenge for the win here. That's just my opinion. He's a great racer. He's fast in just about anything he gets behind. So I think it should be interesting to see some new blood mixing it up with the WTM current challengers.
Absolutely. Of course, it's a longer race here today. So after the manic races that we've seen at Laguna Seca, Pukekohe, and also at Vices Club as well, we're back to a 45 to 50 minute, well, probably about 55 minutes race actually, I think. This will be the shortest race of the season in terms of time, simply because it's such a fast track. So it'll be interesting indeed. Of course, it's a feature race, and there might be some pit stops involved. It's a very fast pit lane and very short. So there's been plenty of discussion on the forums about which strategy is better. So we'll be able to see plenty of strategy, hopefully, in this race, which we've not seen too much of during the season so far. It is Torborg who's setting the pace so far, and apparently he never uses his race setup in practice. He never uses his qualifying setup in practice, but although we are at the end of practice, and I guess he is using his qualifying setup at the moment just to get himself ready for qualifying. But Shell Stenbeck is showing well today. Yeah. But here is this very fast corner here, Keith, one more with Yari Venari. This super fast corner, you just throw the car into there and try to get it round the banking and make sure you don't slide off with the gravel. But it's a very thrilling corner, of course, because it's so very fast. But the problem is, even when you do it right, it never feels like you've done the corner properly. You never feel like you've done it fast enough, and it just eggs you on to push a little bit more the next time you come round, and of course you end up understeering straight into the gravel. So people will have to watch that there. And then the final the final corners are you have to keep it very neat and tidy indeed. A lot of drivers have been commenting that it's a very it's a trickier track than it actually appears to be.
Yeah, from afar it looks very easy, but when you have those long radius sweeping corners, it's like you said, it never feels like you've done it right, and it's because you're constantly turning. You never have that, like a 90-degree corner. You come in out wide, you hit the apex, you carry on out. You know you've done it right, but when you're still turning the wheel, even at the end of a corner, it just feels like you haven't done something right, and it's exactly what you said. It'll be interesting as the race plays out. And I just wanted to point out that Toby Davis is not in the server as of right now, because there's a funny story behind that. Got his new computer, was racing at a university. His internet connection's been acting up. I was in TeamSpeak with him earlier, and he had about 58 minutes to go till quali started, and he's going, "What should I do?" Well, the option is either A, you stay at uni and you take your chances with disconnecting, which you probably will, or B, drive 45 minutes to your parents' house with your laptop and know that you're going to be okay. So back and forth. He just didn't see he obviously didn't see the benefit in having a stable connection, because he stayed for another 10 or 15 minutes crying. He says, "Well, let me know if I disconnect." And he disconnected about 4 more times in that period. So it was not going to happen. So now he's racing around his room picking up through all the garbage and Fanta bottles. He couldn't find his laptop charger or his monitor, and now he is racing on his way to his parents' house so he can race today. So if he makes it, we're going to be giving him a big thumbs up.
So he's involved in 2 races today. So well, he's got 20 minutes to go before qualifying ends. So, and he can only warm up, which is the good thing about R Factor. So he does have a chance.
Yeah, exactly.
The problem with that is, though, that his connection at home is not very strong either.
I think that was the discussion back and forth. But he disconnected in a 20-minute period. He disconnected 10 times. Oh, so I said the chances are you're going to. Well, this is from the moment I joined in with him. He just kept timing out in TeamSpeak and in the game, and it was not good. He had no chance of making the race to the end at uni. So I think it was worth the gamble to go try, because at least he has maybe a better shot. Even if his connection at home is no better, he may have a better chance than what he had at uni, because it was a really, really bad problem. So yeah, I hope he makes it. Bad. I really do, for his championship hopes and for his sake, because he may lose his sanity after this. Might write another song and sing it.
Oh God, he might crash his supercar a bit harder next time and kill himself. Well, anyway, so we're going to go into qualifying. So hopefully Toby will be able to make it here, because he's in a strong position in the championship as well. He's obviously in 2nd place in the championships, and we do kind of need him to challenge for the win and to get ahead of Dave Lar and make the championship a bit more of a bit less of a one-horse race as it is at the moment.
Well, exactly, and I mean, and he's also got to keep at bay the driver who's in 3rd place, which I'm not allowed to say his name. I've already been instructed.
He's P8. He's P8 at the moment.
Yeah,
so,
we're gonna call.
Look
Yeah, we got
piling up the pits. What are they doing?
Oh, come on,
what are they doing?
Gentlemen. Come on. You see that Holden try to squeeze in there? It's like he's in the drive-through at McDonald's.
He thinks he's in a smart car. He's in a Holden. He can't squeeze in anywhere.
What a shot that is. That is a great shot.
And because one person stopped for the red light, just go through the red light. It's fine. You only get 100 credit fine.
You're going to get a fine. It's not going to do anything.
What they're like.
What a shot. Now everyone's bunched. See, this is the funny thing, is now everyone bunches up.
I'm not quite sure what they thought they'd get out of that. I think Dave Lar's been sneaky, though, because where's he at? Let's try and find Dave Lar. He's somewhere in the field, because he only did a little bit of practice, so he's obviously... He's
got his pace down. You know he's got his pace down.
He sneaked out behind. Look who sneaked out behind, Yarvanari. What's Yarvanari driving?
I
wonder if he's looking for a bit of a slipstream in that first sector.
It's hot marking the right report here. Oh yeah, I can see what he's up to.
He'll lose ground around here, but I reckon he'll catch up pretty much by the end of the.
You want to know what would be a good?
The end of the final sector.
If you go on board, yeah, that's a good shot.
Oh no! That's Yari's been a spoil sport there.
Oh,
No,
good fun.
Ruined his evil plan.
I see you got Butcher and Calvin are teaming up, it seems. They're close by.
Here they are. I think Butcher will get less benefit out of that than Kelvin will, because Butcher should just go straight past Kelvin on the straights. It'll be a difficult race today, won't it, for the Alfa Romeos, Mercedes, and M3s, won't it? Because of all those high-speed straights.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think the best bet is just throw hards on the car and go for broke, or even throw mediums on it and try a different strategy, perhaps. I don't know.
Well, what's the tire wear like here? Like, is I guess the mediums do wear off.
It differs car to car, yeah. It's the problem.
Yeah, and driving style, obviously, right?
Yeah, I've heard mainly up throughout the season that the Sierras and mediums just don't ever work. So I mean, the Sierras are very heavy on tire wear. So is the Holden. But there are lots of straights here for the tires to cool down. So it's
Well, I actually spoke with Jesper. I spoke with Jesper pre-race, and I told him just from what I had seen through the season, it seemed like for him with the Sierra hards for the entire race. That was a suggestion. Obviously, it's up to him to take it. He's the one driving, but you know, for him being new to the series, actually Jesper's got a Holden right in front of him.
Oh, has he?
Got Marius Mervo. Unagi's taking it. Jesper's thinking better of it. He's thinking better of it. Yeah. He's just easing back. Yeah, one thing I really like about Jesper as a driver is he's very smart. He's got the instinct of knowing what he needs to do.
He has.
And Crooks, he's taking it.
Evo's not even. Ben Crooks sets an excellent opening salvo there. But Evo Simon's even in the end with the Sierra, which is a little bit faster over the straights than the Rover. Even through those first two sectors, which are mainly straights, he's still 2 tenths down on Ben Crooks. So that's interesting. In that final sector, of course, the Sierra struggles a little bit more than the Rover.
Yeah, it's the last sector for 29.1 for Duivelar in the last sector, 28.9. It's kind of a collective from Crooks over Duivelar at this point for their for the difference between pole and off pole right now.
Mm-hmm.
Simons, well done. Paying tribute to Mr. Callan from season 2.
He's been doing well all season, really. I mean, he's not quite got the results that his pace is warranted, actually, but just because of a couple of incidents. One at Vitus, where he just pinged off Lennon very strangely in race 2, and that set him back through the field. And he stormed back from 26th to 10th in race 1 at Pugukoe. So he's definitely got the pace to run with the top 6, 7, 8 drivers. So it's nice to see him using my car well.
Well, I really hope we don't have another 5-car incident in the last corner like the last race. That was I gotta say that was one of the most interesting things I've ever seen in racing, because it was almost like synchronized swimming, but with big heavy cars.
It was amusing to watch. I'm sure it wasn't amusing for the drivers involved, but it's hilarious to watch for the people who weren't involved. I'm sure a few drivers behind were trolling as well, because they picked up 5 positions out of nothing, basically.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I think we've got.
That's what you can do out the final corner. It's so easy just to put the power on too hard out the final corner and just drift onto the grass there.
I think Jesper just got a clean lap.
No, he's not appeared on the board just yet.
Oh, really? It looked like a fairly good lap. I guess I was. Oh, not.
Where's he at?
No, he had a clean. It looked like a clean lap. I was just on half on board, half kind of popping around.
Oh, he's not set a time yet, I don't think. I think that was an out lap you were watching. Oh, he has set a time. But that was obviously in traffic at the time.
Oh, that was an out lap. Don't mind me. I'll be fine.
It's alright. I'll look after you, Keith. It's fine.
Yeah, Duivelar's that. Ooh, there we go. Yeah.
But he is up in the first sector, and Anders Nielsen is up in the second sector. But Anders Nielsen needs to be up a lot more than that in the second sector, because he's got the final sector to try and compete with that Rover. And of course, Holden just cannot compete with the Rover in that final sector, so he'll have to work on a little bit more speed there, I think.
I like seeing some new names up at the front, Ryan. Like Eric Tveit up there in 7th right now. Andy Oakley having another good showing.
They've both been improving so much throughout the season.
Oh, absolutely.
And Stenbeck was very, very fast in season 1, and he's not been on the pace at all this season, but he obviously looks like he's running well here today.
Breaking news, Toby Davis has made it, people. 13 minutes to go.
He's in the game. Toby Davis is in the game.
Toby Davis has made it.
Jesper's now going to cross the line. Looks like a good lap here. 24.73. Second position in behind
Threads
Ben
the needle.
Splitting Crooks and Dave Lar. Dave Lar reckons he'll struggle in this race. If he gets a top 10, he says he'll be happy. I don't believe that for 1 second.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, just like over at Pukekohe there. Jesus.
Yeah, happy with 2 top 10s, and he gets 2 podiums.
Well, and we cannot
fire each time.
We cannot forget the charge of Mr. Nilsson. That was phenomenal.
That was epic. It was.
Yeah, it was. To follow that. It was. Yeah, that's the only word for it. I mean, that's the hard charger of the year. It doesn't matter how many leagues are run. That is the hard charge of the year. That right there, with that car at that track, with Anders driving, hardest drive of the year, and Toby has left the game again.
He's left the building, so hopefully he's left it for a good reason.
Don't tell me he's got connecting issues again.
He might have to change his settings because obviously he's gone back home. So, but Jesper was up 1/10 and now he's up again in the second sector. Sarah's not quite as good as Rover in the final sector, so we'll see what he's got. People were touting the fact that there would be 24 flats for pole position from Anders Nielsen. They reckon it would come from because of obviously he has the fastest car here today, but that's not materialised just yet.
Looks like
he was last gasp. That was a nice final sector, very clean.
Very clean. And he's got a bit of a draft too.
24.5.
He does it.
Pole position. So
well
12 minutes to go. Jesper Talborg, newcomer to the season, newbie, a rookie.
Yep, we got a newbie on the pole.
He was in season 1. He did do a couple of races in season 1, so he's not completely new to it. And of course, he is a very fast driver indeed, and he's been bought there by Merlot, so he'll quit and go back to the garage. But here is Ben Crooks. Oh, sorry, not Ben Crooks. It's P2. Sorry. Well, you're not. I'm allowed to say his name. You're not. So I can say. Ben Crooks.
Who's this? P2? Are we watching P2 now?
It's P2. We are watching.
Okay, P2. Okay, well that's where he loses it. Well, he's in sector 1 right now. No, that's sector 2.
Sector 2, yeah. He's in sector 3 now, and he's in behind Gary Lennon, so he should be able to follow Gary Lennon through here because the Alpha is good through the final sector. Look, he's very sideways. That exit from Gary's off the track. Don't block. Oh, he's gone straight off the track. But Ben Crooks might be distracted by that. Let's see how much he can make out of it.
Oh, that was clean.
I think he was very clean. I think he was maybe hoping he could get a draft off Lennon.
Got it.
He's got it 24.4. Excellent lap there for Ben Crooks. And Anders Nielsen 25.0, so he's in the mix as well.
And Tommy Ojala just snuck into a P3 there. Just wanted to point that out.
Excellent.
Very well
also
done
from him. And Dave Lar, the Volvo has such high drag. It wasn't harmed so much at Pukekohe. Stop laughing.
I'm sorry.
So much at Pukekohe because there's only one straight, but the straight here is there's two straights here really, and it's quite a big difficulty to see Tommy Ojala losing it there in the first sector, but he was very quick on that lap, so he'll be pleased with his third position so far.
And Toby Davis has made it back into the building, everybody.
He has. Here is Dave Lar. He's 2 tenths down after sector 2, now going into sector 3. It's such a tricky final sector. It's so easy to put power on too much there, and of course you have to be back across the road as well for the final sector. So it's a lot trickier than it appears just looking down from the track map, as many tracks are, I guess.
Well, one thing that also, especially with the weight of the oh nice, the weight of the Volvo, just the Volvo's body design, it looks like the body roll through the last sector, that left, right, left. You know, it's key on getting the weight transferring properly. Otherwise,
Anders Nielsen pole position. Sorry to interrupt you, but half a tenth faster than Ben Crooks. We're on board with the narrative. Finish his lap. 24.367. Excellent lap there from Anders Nielsen. He is the favourite for pole position here today. He's not necessarily the favourite for the race, simply because, I mean, he is probably marginally the favourite, but not an outstanding favourite, simply because of the tyre wear of the Holden, which is pretty high.
Well, if you look at his sector times over P2, sorry, P2's doing a 22.2 on his best in sector 2 compared to a 21.4 on Anders' best sector 2.
Wow,
huge.
8 tenths.
It's huge.
And the problem is, if Anders is the same speed as Crooks in the race, there's no way Crooks can beat him, simply because of the fact that long straight.
And I will say one thing. I would early in the season handling the Holden with Anders driving. A mistake might have been in the cards. I just don't feel it is. I'm not trying to jinx him, which everyone's probably going to say I am. Anyway, what I'm saying is that Anders has done an amazing job this season. Handling the Holden all season long. He's gotten better every single race, and it's been, you can kind of watch it and you just see every race he handles it a little better than the last, and I think it's just going to keep getting better as the season progresses. Mm-hmm. How many races we have left now, Ryan?
This is round 6. We've got 3 rounds after this, so that'll be interesting.
Aww.
He's got Brands Hatch after this, which is it's coming to an end, which is not very...
That hurts.
Always disappointing.
Yeah, it is very disappointing.
All good things must come to an end. And we've got Brands Hatch after this one, which is another feature race, and then we have Trois Rivières, which I'm not sure Anders Nielsen will appreciate that track.
No.
And that is at night time as well.
Oh no! Who set up this league?
I don't know what you're talking about. And that'll be 66 laps around there, which is the same length race as this track. Just the fact that it's quite a short track. I don't realise actually how short a track it is. But Ben Crooks is 2/10 up in Sector 1. That's fantastic stuff from him. Jesper Torborg is also purple in Sector 1, but he's not purple in Sector 2, unsurprisingly. But Trois Rivières will be a night race, a feature race. The same length as this one, but the final race will be at Mountain Panorama. 300 kilometres there, twice as long as this race, so that'll be very interesting indeed. There will, of course, definitely be pit stops there.
Yeah, I do enjoy races that come down to a bit more strategy, more so than just raw speed and kind of predicting when and what to take for your pit stops.
Well, it's nice to have a mix of them, isn't it? Because you can't all have sprint races all the time, because that's not the measure of a champion in my opinion. And Ben Crooks, what a superb lap time. Look at that, 24.182.
Oh, beautiful.
That was a fantastic
P1.
lap time with 6 minutes to go in qualifying. I'm not sure anyone will beat that, you know.
Who is this guy in pole?
I don't know. This is some guy called P1. But this is our double race winner from Pukekohe. And even though the Rover doesn't have the power of the Holden or even the Sierra, it does have that low drag, and it's really helping on these fast tracks. And he's really flown the car nicely this season. He's got better and better as the season's gone along. And he's in 3rd place in the championship at the moment, with his rival Toby Davis having difficulty obviously with his connection or whatever it is. And Dave Lars just left the game, so hopefully he can get back in. Van der Linde has also left the game, so hopefully he can get back into the race. He had his breakthrough win at Laguna Seca.
Definitely. Yeah, that was a very, very good run, and just kind of, again, like we said, a coming of age and maturing, and very well done. Very good, solid, clean event for him, and just noticing now Toby is on track and taking care of some business here. Hopefully he can get himself a good lap in.
Ooh, sliding around as per usual. Well, it's Toby's style. He's never conservative. I don't think he knows the meaning of the word. He's 7/10 down in 1st sector. Obviously have to improve on that, but he would just be happy to get a lap in, I think, at the moment. He was a race winner, of course, at Vitus, holding off the challenge, the very strong challenge of Peter Davelaar there. Davelaar is almost making a double win there, but the double win honours this season went to Ben Crooks.
Yes, and that would be P1 as of right now.
That would be.
I wonder if anyone has anything for that time. That is a phenomenal time.
That is. As I say, it was touted that he does go 9th, so he'll be happy just to get that lap in, I think. And Anders Nielsen is 6/10 up in the 2nd sector, and that's around about how much faster Ben Crooks is in the 2nd sector. So this will be very tight indeed, I think. If Anders can just keep it neat and tight, just keep him to the inside there to make sure he got a good line. Oh, A little bit narrow there into turn 8. And into 9, always sideways. He's trying very, very hard indeed.
Come on.
He got a nice exit though. That was a good exit there from... And people joining the game, stop doing that.
Dweevelar just rejoined, and no, not quite.
So close. He did
so
improve, but less than a tenth of a second. Just that small slide in turn 9, I think, cost him, didn't it, Keith?
Oh well, yeah. And is it just me, or does that car look extremely wide through the third sector? It looks like there's about maybe a car length on either side of him left over. Oh, contact
we see the background,
back there.
Butcher and Veet in the background having big contact. Not sure what's going on there. Butcher is running 7th at the moment, with Veet up in position. He's in 14th. We'll scroll you through the standings at the moment just so we can have a look at those. I don't think Anders is going to improve on this lap, so let's go to Jesper Tolborg. He's ditched it into the barrier, so he's not going to improve either. Dave Lars back in the game. Of course, the great thing about R-Patcher is it remembers your lap times, so you can rejoin the game without losing your hard-earned speed. I'll take you through the standings at the moment. Top 10 is rounded out by Toby Davis. 11th is Andy Oakley, who's improved all through the season, hasn't he, really, Keith? He's been very, very solid indeed, keeping out of trouble. And excellent results, 2 excellent results at Pukekohe. If I remember correctly, off the top of my head, it was a 7th and a 5th, which is extremely good.
Was he involved in that the 5-car incident, or did he just squeak his way through?
No, he was ahead of those guys because he started.
Oh yes.
At the top of the grid because of the reverse grid. So.
Yeah, that's right.
He was alongside Egbeer on pole position, on the front row. Sorry. But 12th is Gary Lennon. That's the best of the non-power cars, as it were. Yari Vanara is 13th. He'll be looking to move up a little bit more from there in the Holden. 14th is Veet. 15th is JIG, as Dave Lars sends the tyres rolling into the middle of the straight. Thinks he's James Bond, providing...
Yep.
And look at Dave Lars. Immediately went across the middle of the other side of the track there to draft Roy Magnez, I think. There was a very strange line coming out of the corner. I think he immediately went to get even a slight draft off Roy. But Roy immediately goes off track to let Peter go through. Oh, Dave Lars!
Oh, he pulls an Egbeer!
That's actually just a Nielsen. Only a Nielsen, I'm afraid.
That was nice, though. That was very nice.
For those that don't know, Anders Nielsen's nickname, apart from Raw Steel, is Undertray, because he often goes on 2 wheels.
He's always displaying his Undertray. Raw Steel and sex appeal.
Yeah, his sex appeal Undertray. Dave Lard tried his line there, and that wasn't quite the line that worked for him. In 14th is Activate, 15th is JIG, 16th is Christoph Bajura. Sorry, go ahead, Keith.
I was just going to say, I'm just following myself along with Toby. I just want to follow his progress, and I can just imagine how difficult it must have been to uproot from one setup, one PC, one whole kind of get up, and then hop in a car, drive, and then set yourself up on another whole setup. Your car setup, your wheel, if he pulls off a top 5 today, I'd be really impressed with that, just because of the what he had to do.
Well, weigh your mind that as well, because you're so stressed, you're so flustered from just getting into the game. It can be quite difficult just to get your mind focused for the event. It does take a lot of focus. It is only a game, but it does take a lot of focus just to concentrate and get that extra couple of attempts that you need to compete in such a high quality series like this.
For sure, and especially when you got the guys you're racing with for the championship, well ahead of you, it can start playing tricks on your mind. So, last 6 seconds here coming up. I think we should see a couple laps out of a few guys here.
Here's Lamaris Miervold coming back onto the track. He's not in any position he would want to be. Christopher Bajura just been moved down the grid. Obviously, someone's popped up into the top 16 there, but Tim Brooks in 18th. Steve Davis in 19th, Van der Linde in 20th. They're in the less powerful cars and been struggling a little bit. Jeff Dobbing is 21st. He's underprepared for this round because he was able to join pretty late. But he's in the Ford Sierra, so he should be able to move up through the field. Bordeaux, Demolin, Ilivanov round at top 24. With Diaz, Merlot, Palmer, Magnez, and Mervold with a very slow time in that Holden. I would have thought he'd be a lot faster. He would be on the sort of pace he was showing at Pukekohe, but obviously it shows that this track, even though it has those long straights, it still requires lots and lots of skill to get that Holden around the track, doesn't it, Keith?
Yeah, definitely. And with the somewhat straights here, with the curves and that, if you can't keep it together for those couple of corners, the lap time, kind of ends up being moot because just for example, like Nilsson in the last sector is 9/10 of a second slower than Crooks is.
Yeah, exactly.
So
that's
it just goes to
pretty much
show.
the end of the session. I don't think anybody else is on track. And I can see, one driver's about to cross the line now. Not sure if he's actually going to get the lap in.
Jesper is actually on track for one more lap.
I'm not sure he's going to get the lap in now.
Yeah, he's going on. Just not. I don't think he's.
No, he's not going to lap in because it's only 6 seconds after Dave Lard crossed the line. So and Torborg's obviously a lot further back from that. So Torborg's just coasting around there.
Yeah.
So that's Ben Crooks who takes an excellent pole position.
Yeah, well done.
Into this pit lane, which is very, very tight indeed. Torborg driving into one of the other drivers. So, Ben Crooks on pole position. Alongside him is Anders Nielsen. 3rd place, Jesper Torborg. And 4th place, Peter Develar. 5th, Tommy Ojala. 6th, Kjell Stenbeck. He'll be very, very happy with that indeed. 7th is Chris Butcher. 8th is Ivo Simons. Again, not quite able to extract the speed that he wants in qualifying that he has in the practice. 9th, Adam Egbeer. 10th was Andy Oakley. 11th, Gary Lennon. 12th, Yara Vinari. 13th, Eric de Veit. 14th, Gergi. 15th was Wayne Morgan. He's also on a debut in this series. So he's having a solid run there. 16th, Bajora. 17th, Tim Brook. With 18th, Steve Davis. 19th, Van der Linde. And round up the top 20 is Jeff Dobbing. Just 5 minutes to go. Toby has actually left the game at the moment. Hopefully he can get back into the server again.
Well, he'll have to start at the back of the grid, or no? He'll be okay. He'll remain in his spot.
He'll be okay. Yeah.
Okay. I was just scanning through the prediction game, and Adam Egbeer and Nikola, I believe it's Ilanov. Ilovanov. They both predicted Ben Crooks to be on pole. So well done for that.
And I predicted Nielsen, so I'm not doing very well there.
Along with everyone else.
Yes,
I think Butchie predicted Toby would get pole, but I don't think he predicted his internet to be that bad.
That's true. Always these things to take into account when doing prediction games, and that's why it's actually quite difficult to predict for these things.
Oh, for sure. And you and Butchie are now tied for the lead. I think you've got a bit of an edge just because you know you're like a stats fanatic. You've got it all in your head.
I organised the league. That's what I got to do. That's what I got to do.
That's why I said you got a bit of an edge. I think you should be. I think you should be getting half points compared to everyone else.
Toby Davis is even more obsessed with the league than I am, so I think he should get like quarter points if I'm getting half points.
Yeah, Toby's only sitting 4th right now for the prediction game, but it's fairly tight behind you guys. I mean, you got Ivo at 87, Peter at 84, Toby at 83, and Nicola at 79. So it should be interesting to see who comes out on top.
It will. We've been doing it throughout the entire season, of course, and it's obviously taking shape right now because with all the we're on the 9th race of the season at the moment, and here's a big squabble. Ben Crooks being followed by Richard Welch is very sideways in that M3. The M3 is very, very fun to drive sideways. It's not very quick to drive sideways, but it is very fun indeed to drive sideways.
Definitely.
And obviously, Richard Welch is finding that as well.
Well, you know what I was thinking? Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was saying he's on the back row of the grid. Go ahead, Keith.
I was just going to say I was thinking about the prediction game a little bit further, and maybe for coming seasons, do some TouringProSeries T-shirt or something like that. I always thought that'd be kind of neat.
We could indeed. We'll definitely be able to do. There are plenty of plans for the TouringProSeries, of course, Keith, aren't there?
Yes,
There's
definitely.
a website planned for that, and a few mergers perhaps happening. So all will be revealed in the next couple of weeks, hopefully.
Yes.
Things should move fast.
And it should grow quick.
It should. The ATCC and WTM and V8s and the AGTC, if that is arranged, are all growing very fast indeed. So they need to expand to new horizons.
Well, actually, I did just want to maybe just throw a quick mention out that AGTC is a league that's going to be thrown together, kind of an interim for ATCC, 5-race series starting April 22nd, which is the day before the first V8 race, but it actually ends up working out so that it spreads itself out against the V8 series. 5-race series running at one car, which is a custom mod created by the guys at FDR Sim Racing Pro, and it'll be some details will be released on that within the next couple of days. The tracks and the mod is going to be released next week, so look for some club races to enjoy the mod and get yourself prepared for that. But we're looking for probably a 30-car grid. If there's enough interest, we'll go for 225s, and we'll again do live broadcasts as well. So here we are following Richard Welsh. I believe he's starting a little ways back in the field. I'll just quickly go over a couple of these guys here. My quick prediction, if I was to make one, race-wise, I believe Jesper Talborg has enough to hold on to a top 3 for this race. If I was to pick a favorite for the win right now, I would say Ben Crooks because of his experience with these cars. He proved himself at the last event, pulling off a double, which was not expected. He drove fantastically and earned both of those race wins. Now taking a pole, gaining some points right off the bat, and sitting up front. His main competition right now is going to be holding off that the Holden, the raw steel and sex appeal of Andrew. Put on a great show at the last event, and I'm really excited to see how this race is going to play out.
Should be excellent indeed. We'll keep an eye out for any comebacks through the grid, of course. One person in the chat has laid down a challenge to Anders Nielsen, saying he should start from the pit lane. And then come back and win the race.
That's funny.
So at the end of warm-up here, and that means we have 30 seconds or so before the start of the race.
Yeah, and the famous words, with all non-essential personnel, please leave the grid now.
Usually means me. I have to leave the grid. So
get out of the grid. Get off the grid.
So we're gearing up here. There's a couple of people just completing the laps.
Attention grid, all non-essential personnel leave the grid now.
There are the famous words. I'm not quite sure why they chose those words when I and I were making this game, but okay.
I love the last minute, just with the last 30 seconds to go. The question: 36 laps, right?
Oh dear.
Well, I'll let you handle this. Let's see how this shapes out.
They've only had 2 weeks to prepare for the event. I don't know how many laps it is. No, it's all right.
And we're winding down. 5 seconds to go here.
Yeah, the revs are rising. Ben Crooks in pole position. Alongside him is Adam Egbeer on the front row. Jesper Talborg in third in that yellow Sierra. And away they go. And a great start there from Ben Crooks. Jesper Talborg's bogged it down. He's back. He's been swamped by the grid.
Toby Davis is up to 6th.
Toby Davis has gone straight to 4 wide in the back of this group. And Nielsen is already challenging Crooks, even though he got quite a poor start. Crooks will be counting his blessings for getting such an excellent start. And through goes. We're all going across the chicane there, making sure they don't hit the anti-cuts.
And Davis is up to 3rd from 10. Yeah, amazing start.
David with his customary demon starts. And it looks like everyone made a way through there pretty much.
Looks like
any spins. That's excellent news indeed. The first corner is very tight. And here is the leader, Ben Crooks. He has the lead over Anders Nielsen. But let's go on board with Anders Nielsen and see how much this Holden gains down the straight. Look at it. Straight on the ground. That is scary stuff indeed. Through he goes on the Rover driver. This is the problem. He just covers the line there as he goes into the fast, sweeping right-hander at turn 6 as well. But the power of that Commodore just got him straight past. That was scary stuff on the straight. Ben made it as difficult as he could without making it unfair. The problem here is, even if he passes him in this section here, he's on the outside, that's not the best place to be around there.
And you know what this is doing? Look who's behind there, just rubbing his hands together on that wheel.
Exactly. Toby Davis. He'll be so pumped. The adrenaline will be pumping in that Sierra right now, won't it? He's
for sure.
From 10th to 3rd, and he was obviously dreading the fact that he got a poor qualifying position. But back in the right back in the pack is our 3rd place man, Jesper Talborg, back in 20th because of that poor start and the fact that he got obviously shuffled out in the chicane as well. But they're all piling down the straight.
Oh, Toby Davis! Hold on, go back to Toby Davis. He's around. He's around.
Where's he gone?
Get on. Rewind it back if you can. He's off and through turn 1 and 2, way off into the tires.
There he is.
There.
There's Toby Davis. He's back.
Rewind it back if you can.
21st. Let's go back to the replay. There he, he's got obviously got the power on too much out of. Yep, he's done the classic thing out of this chicane, but the power on too much. Going out of here, just going sideways. Oh, it's on a slow motion into the barrier. He's not going to lose so many places because of it being the opening laps, of course. But poor Toby Davis, more struggles for him. Oh, on the track there was one of the Sierras, one of the M3s it looked like. Steve Davis in a very strange part of the track. Not sure what was happening there. But he's been involved in a couple of incidents in the last couple of races. He won't be happy with that. A little bit of contact
with Nicola, Richard Welsh, and a couple other guys.
What was that? Look at this big accident here. Coming down. We're not going to see the obviously the replay exactly, but there's a big incident. I'm not sure why he's on the grass and why he's spinning there, because he spun right in front of Yari Vinari, and straight into the grass he goes and back down the grid. That's a very strange accident once again. He had a very strange accident at Pukekohe. We moved across on Andy Oakley and ended up losing out. So perhaps that happened once more. But
back at the front.
Back at the front. Ben Crooks has taken a lead. Look,
he has taken it back.
So that's excellent news for Ben Crooks. He just needs now to get a good exit from here and hope that Holden does not eat him up down the straight once again. Let's go on board with Anders Nielsen and see how much he gains down the straight.
It's like he's closing a football field on him in this straight, man. Raw steel and sex appeal.
That Rover just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. Look at Nielsen, just going to go straight past him once again. Crooks must be pulling his hair out in frustration. We're on board now.
Nielsen,
can I see? Crooks, there he is. Goes straight through again on that very, very fast right-hander with the Holden obviously going to struggle a lot compared to the Rover. But now look at the Rover pull away in this section here. Nielsen is going to struggle. But look at that, straight out the corner, the traction of that Rover is excellent indeed. Crooks is on fire in the WTM lately. I think he's really looking to stamp his authority on this race. Look at it through that section, that was fantastic. Through that final section was just beautiful.
And just to position back, there's a battle with Tommy Ojala and Peter Duivelar that's been kind of raging pretty well. Crooks hits the quickest time.
Is this the Dave Allard that thought that top 10 will be good for him?
Yeah, I know, no kidding, eh? Nicola had to come out of the pits.
Look at Ilivanov, has got lots of smoke. Oh, he's stopped now. Yeah, lots of smoke coming out of his car. And Kjell Stenbeck is running very well indeed in 5th position. This is his best run of the season so far. So he'll be happy with that because he's been off the pace a lot this season so far, and that's unlike him, really.
Oh, and also we've got
in the RD GTC as well.
We've got Chris Butcher here as well, just running in 6th. And considering he told me he had 11 laps of practice, I think, for this event, he's doing pretty well.
I think he practiced for about 2 hours before the event, so I don't know.
Yeah, no, because he said 10 laps for the last race, and then this race was 11. It's just kind of his thing, right?
And Dave Allard is taking advantage of all the slipstreaming here. He's going to go up the inside of Tommy Ojala here. Tommy Ojala braved it around the outside, which you can do there. That's move indeed. But Anders Nielsen is just 0.3 in behind Ben Crooks now. Of course, that was into Sector 2, where the Holden is so fast. There is the battle for the lead. Just have to keep it neat and tidy in that hole in the hope that Ben Crooks is quite oversteering, but very, very precise indeed, getting the car turned in excellently into the corners. But fastest lap for 25.5. That's an excellent lap actually, because we did think the pace would be around about that. So that's come true pretty much. Jesper Torborg can let you know it's moved up to 17th position. Go ahead, Keith.
Yeah, I was just actually going to comment on Jesper. I'm just following him a bit here. It looks like I think he's a little cautious just because of the fact that he is a guest driver, for one, not racing for the championship. I think that's why he didn't force the issue too much at the start. Because, obviously, if he makes a move and that ends up resulting in a DNF for someone that's in the championship hunt, it's going to weigh heavy on him being, a solid, clean racer. But I would expect this. It looks like he enjoys himself in the cars. I'd expect to see him run this series the next season for sure. Hopefully for FCR. Team championship maybe.
Left the game, so our video maker has our Scorsese of WTM has left the race, which is disappointing for him because obviously the Holden's very, very strong here. So hopefully not too many problems there. And Devilar's going to be inside of Ojala into the final. Oh, look at that. That was so close. Ojala just cut across in time in front of our championship leader. But Shel Stenbeck and Chris Butcher are along for the ride here, and Simons is catching up also as well. Simons is very consistent indeed, always on the pace. Fastest lap from Anders Nielsen now. So he's decided that he's going to up the ante, and he's not letting Ben Crooks get away with this race at all. So he's improved the lap time by 2/10 from Ben Crooks' fastest lap time.
Dweebelar's doing anything he can.
He is, but he's making sure he's not taking too many risks, of course, as well, because he has his main championship rival, Toby Davis, who's back down the field, now in 19th position. So, but Ben Crooks is up at the front, so he won't want to finish too far down the field, of course. And Shel Stenbeck and Chris Butcher, who's just having a look at Shel Stenbeck, and Shel's run wide, almost onto the grass, and allowed Chris Butcher to go straight through, I think. And again, Devilar is trying to draft past Ojala, but not quite able to with that high drag of the Volvo, of the brick.
The box style.
Here is the fight for the lead once again, and side by side, but Nielsen decided to back out of it there, because he knew he just wasn't going to make it through before this corner, and that's what he has to do. He has to make it through before this corner, and just stay ahead of the Rover in this final sector. So difficult for these drivers to keep the cars under check for so long. But this is a great battle over Ojala and Devilar. It's very nipping tough. And Butcher has got past Stenbeck as we thought they would do. And look at Simons. He is getting ever closer to this group. There's plenty of groups of cars here. There's plenty of Fords in the top 10, and then Van der Linde's in 9th position in that Mercedes, which is very good indeed. He's having a battle with Paul Bordeaux.
Yeah, what did he qualify? I believe it was 14th or 13th, around there.
Yeah. So he'll be happy with moving up through the field.
Yeah, definitely.
Look at this big gaggle of cars in behind, though. There's Oliver Miervold, again involved in these big gaggle of cars. And he's in behind, and the drivers who are racing him will not be happy about racing him, because that Holden really is a
look at the damage
pain.
Look at the damage on it too, on the right driver's side rear door. Oh no!
It's over. It's just a bit of a bottleneck there, and quit out of the race has gone
Gary Lennon. No.
Oh, not sure quite what happened there. He had quit out of the race, but Veet got sideways in front of them all, and Gary Lennon got caught up in that. And here is
Peter Dweebelar's back to 5th. Butcher's past Dweebelar.
Now, as we thought, that the fact that he's been held up, I can't even get to that battle now, because of battles all over the place. Here is Wayne Morgan, Tim Brook, Veet, and Toby Davis in this group, and ahead of them is Adji and Oakley, with Torborg going up the inside of him. And there is Moraes Miervold. I think Torborg will be well placed just to follow Miervold through the field here. With the power of that hold, he's going to open up plenty of gaps for him. Back up to look at this battle here now. It's really Butcher's going up the inside of Ojala into the first turn. He's taken 3rd position away from Ojala. Simons has caught right up to the back of this group. Butcher's on fire. Muchacho really showing his mettle here.
That's right. I'm feeling I think he's feeling quite muchacho right now.
Lennon did indeed lead the game, so that's a big disappointment for the Alpha driver. Real shame. This is always going to be a difficult track for the Alfa Romeos. This group of 5 cars has now spread out a little bit. And Simons has decided he wants to get past Stenbeck, and he's going to draft past him down into turn 7. This will be interesting indeed, side by side into there, but Stenbeck decides to tuck in around into turn 7. There you go. Still 28 laps to go here, Keith. Andy Gilson is taking the lead of the race.
Has he? Oh no!
Completely. There he is.
He must have done
it once again. But we're not going to get to see it because the lag is too much, I'm afraid, guys. But he has taken the lead of the race. Look at the exit Crooks gets there from the final turn.
If you just head back to Miervold for a moment, never mind. His car was smoking for the moment. Jesper was coming up underneath him, and there was just smoke pouring off his car down the straightaway. Very weird. So I'll keep an eye on that.
He's got his radiator seconds, and Crooks is all over Nielsen there, and Nielsen was was very sideways out of the first corner, which is obviously very difficult indeed. And Crooks is going to look inside. Vanders Nielsen, he's going to try and make Nielsen as slow as possible, so that he's going to go straight back. I'm not sure why he's actually bothering too much there, because look what Nielsen's going to do now.
Well, he's got to try to hold him up somewhat. I mean, it is a yo-yo battle, and it's about the give and take and trying to... In the long run, if they do this for the entire race, he needs to know that where he can pass him and hold him off to get to the line, you know? So I think this is like they're just kind of feeling each other out. This is the pre-dance, and then...
It wasn't there, I don't think.
No, definitely not.
That was first base, was it, Keith, you reckon?
That's first base. I think we'll see... we'll be coming home right around lap 36.
I reckon second base will be around about lap 15.
That's right. He's just feeling him up a little bit, you know.
You're gonna be polite about this thing. You're gonna be a gentleman, haven't you?
Yeah. Well, he's you know, just leaned in for a peck, and you know now he's just maybe groping his behind a little bit.
Just running his hand up his leg, I'm afraid, at the moment.
Yeah. Well, you know, Ojala has taken the spot from Butcher, and Dweevelar looks like he's going to be taking it back from Butcher too.
So made a mistake somewhere because the less drag. The Sierra has got quite high drag as well. It's actually the second highest drag of the cars involved in this series. Of course, the Volvo still has more drag than that. So
well, I'll see.
He's sideways out of the first corner there onto the grass, but still managed to keep position somehow. Not quite sure how he managed that.
Well, I would say one thing. Ojala seems to have a bit like I don't know if maybe Butcher has some damage, because Ojala he was able to get up beside him and just pull up beside him like he had more top speed. So I think maybe Butcher has a little bit of aero damage that could be slowing him down a bit.
Perhaps, but Simons is not back off this group, and now Egbear is getting involved with him, and Egbear is running very well indeed. He finished an 8th and a 6th at Pukekohe. This is his best results of the season so far. He's running very, very well indeed here today. Of course, we don't know tyre strategy at the moment. There could be some people on mediums, perhaps, who are trying to make the tyres.
Yeah, and Jesper Talberg. Jesper Talberg just went from 11th place to 9th. He passed both Kelvin and Paul Bordeaux.
This is a battle here. Look at this. Kelvin and Bordeaux very, very close indeed.
Oh
no! Kelvin just took
He saves it. Is he going to save it? He saved it! Oh, what a save!
And I could always see that coming, because Van der Linde was very, very quick into there. And of course, the Mercedes are very quick indeed. He got around the outside. These are two FCR teammates, of course. They need to watch themselves. And Keith is the the team principal of these two drivers. So I'm not quite sure how you're feeling about this, Keith.
It's still good fun. I mean, I can see that his car obviously has the straight speed. And Jesper was the quicker car out of these guys in quali, and I think he's just trying to do it peacefully without getting into anybody's fenders.
I don't think Paul Bordeaux is interested in doing it peacefully, because he just chopped off in front of Talbog there into turn one, having none of the action into there. And Mervold is lurking in behind this group of cars as well. Oh, and a bank turn. It's actually very, very difficult to get the power on around here.
Well, it looks like Crooks is right on.
Oh, yeah, he was right on Anders Nielsen, but Nielsen's obviously pulled out in that sector 2. But now we'll see Crooks in sector 3, pulling straight back again, though.
Jesper just took his spot back.
Fascinating game of yo-yo.
Oh yes. It's the Sex Peel yo-yo right here now. But I think it's so early to see how these guys' tires are faring. Obviously, Nielsen has the advantage in the straights. We're not even halfway yet, guys. I mean, there's still another 7 laps to halfway. So it'll be interesting to see where these guys find their speed at the end of the race, depending on their strategies.
It will indeed. In this group, it's been glued together.
Yeah, it's still battling
the entire race. And Stenbeck has dropped back from this group a little bit as well after his battle with Simons.
Put you a little bit sideways.
But if these drivers can keep together, then they'll slow you up a little bit and allow Stenbeck, Simons, and Egbear to catch up. We'll have another 6-car train once again. Of course, the racing is not quite as manic here today as it has been in the races before, because it's such a longer race. Nielsen looks like he's opening a gap up now from Crooks, Keith.
Sorry, what was that?
I think Nielsen is opening up a gap from Nielsen now. Nielsen is opening up a gap from Crooks. I do know
Yes.
to talk English, honest.
Well, if you look at Nilsson's time, I'm just comparing his last 2 lap times. Were both mid 125s compared to Crooks's high 125 and a high 126. So he is pulling a gap. It looks like Crooks's pace has dropped slightly, whereas Nilsson seems to have picked up slightly. 125.3 to a 125.4. So Nilsson does have the quickest lap of the race so far.
He does. And 25.8 he set in that lap, and also Ben Crooks set the same lap time. So it's very close.
Oh, he's right up on him.
He's right up on him, but of course down the straight again, Nielsen will just pull straight back away again. So it's interesting indeed. It's very cat and mouse.
Yeah, would you say Anders is playing a little hard to get?
He's certainly not appreciating the hand up the leg right here, right now. Because
can't squeeze him. Can't squeeze him.
And Nielsen is deciding that he doesn't want any part of this whatsoever. Puts the power down, and that Holden's just going to go flying back past once again. He's definitely been a bit of a tease, isn't he?
Oh, definitely.
He's flaunting it, but he's not delivering.
That's right. That's right.
We've all been there, haven't we?
Yeah, no kidding. And I can imagine what Crooks just feel like. He should be quick through this last sector, though, and he might be able to get up alongside him, maybe even make a move.
Oh, he's going to make a move.
Going for the reach around.
He's stuck his nose there.
Oh, he takes it!
He's taking the lead from Anders Nielsen. Superb stuff.
Oh, well done. Well done.
He has managed to persuade Anders Nielsen to get to second base.
Yep. Oh, and now it looks like he's opened a bit of a gap. And you know, I think we're going to be doing this the whole race because I think it's, Nielsen will get his head down, drive himself up to his bumper, and then he'll try to court Mr. Crooks. So it's going to be a back and forth courting game.
Yeah, they've fallen out a little bit here. The X Factor has left the relationship for the second, but hopefully they'll be back close together, fizzing once again.
Yes, definitely.
I'm not sure how much these sexual references are doing for our guys.
Yeah, it's true. Well, I mean, I really think
we are past the watershed in the UK, so it's not so bad now.
Well, these guys will be back and forth the whole race. I'm gonna scan back and just see if there's another battle maybe going on further back. It looks like Andy Oakley and Toby Davis is back up to 13th now. And he's around. Oh, he almost went around. Him and Mervold got into it a little bit.
They got into a lot of contact at Pukekohe, so those two got plenty.
No
of
love
history.
lost.
No love lost at all.
Toby
between those guys.
It seems to me that Toby's pushing a little bit hard. I think it's just the make a mistake. You're trying a little too hard to make up for it. He's got Andy Oakley in his sights right now, and Miravold in his bumper, which is not a good thing.
Dave Lars been passed by Chris Butcher once again. So Butcher is back into 4th position. In 6th is the Rover of Schoenstenbeck. This is his strongest run of the season so far by a long way. Simons is once again catching back up to his good friend, Schoenstenbeck, from earlier on the race. 8th is Adam Egbeer. In 9th is Jesper Torborg. He's quite a distance behind Egbeer, but he is gaining lap after lap. Check on the lap times for Jesper at the moment. He's in the mid-26s, so he's not on race-winning pace in the slightest, really. Depends on what kind of tyres and strategy the other guys have decided to go with. But he is gaining Adam Egbeer by over half a second a lap at the moment. And the gap between those two is around about 5 seconds. So within, I would say, 7 laps, Torborg should be back up challenging Adam Egbeer. 9th is an excellent effort from Paul Bordeaux. He's the first of the low power cars, if you will. With Van der Linde 11th, strong race from Andy Oakley once again in 12th. He's not in 12th anymore because Davis is going up the inside of him into turn 3 and taking position away once again. So Toby Davis is at 12th, 13th is Andy Oakley, 14th is Tim Brook, the 15th Jay Edges, 16th is Jeff Dobbing. Managed to recover himself from the bay.
Sorry, David Cahill just was going backwards on the track. Please see if you can get to him. Right about around there. Yeah, see if you can rewind that for a second, because I just caught that. Look, so he goes around, and he goes right into oncoming traffic because they were coming. That's not okay. That's not.
I'm not quite sure. I think he actually got out of a worse position than he was in. Well, he rejoined in the bad spot though. That was very difficult indeed.
I guess maybe just from where I caught it from, I was following with Merlot, I believe it is, and he was heading directly for him head on as he was pulling to straight into him. So maybe a little bit of overreaction.
You can get a bit excited, Keith.
Oh, it's an exciting sport. Come on now.
Make sure you take medication, please.
Yes. Well, Eric, I did notice also Eric Tveit had retired as well.
From the race, which has done a lot this season so far. He's not finished many races at all. And Crooks has opened up a big gap from Nielsen. He's obviously had enough of the hard to get from Nielsen. He decided that he's wanted to distance himself from him.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I mean, it gets a little tiresome, the back and forth. But you know what? We've seen it from Nielsen. Him put it down and just all of a sudden just pull half a second to a second a lap out of him out of his car.
His tyres are struggling. His tyres are. Look at that. Understeering all the way around the final section. I don't know what sort of strategy he's on, but he's definitely struggling.
Well, it looks like Simons is back up on Stenbeck for round 2.
Going to have another go at him after the mistake that saw him. I don't know quite what happened actually, but he did drop back from Stenbeck.
When it looks like
obviously something happened.
And Talborg is closed up to within, it looks like about 4 seconds of 2 seconds of Adam Egbert.
2.7. That's excellent stuff from Talborg. Talborg's back into the 25s.
Yes.
The last 3 laps he's done 25 second lap time, so he's back in the rhythm once again.
Yeah, definitely.
Now that he's got clear air, of course.
Yeah, he's got right now as it sits 2. For him to catch up to third place, he is around 11 seconds behind, which is not out of reason for a top 3, considering.
Well, Ben Crooks is getting faster and faster. Look, 25.9, 25.7, 25.8, 25.5, and 25.6 in the last 6 laps. So he's been very consistent.
Man on a run.
Well, if you compare that to Anders Nielsen, who's doing 25.6, 25.8, that was excellent. But then 27.3 he did. And 26.2, 25.8, and then 26.7. So the Holden, of course, is going to be more inconsistent. It's obviously harder to drive, but he needs to be more consistent and more neat and tidy in that car, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, he's just got to clean it up a little bit.
He has to, yeah.
Kind of like Toby when he was trying to find his monitor.
Third place battle, which is here's his battle between the 3 guys with third position, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Ojala, Butcher, and Davila, who have been stuck together the entire race. Davila looks like he's lost a little bit of touch from this group. He's obviously still in behind, and here it is, Talborg catching up to the Rover of Adam Egbert. And Talborg did 25.8 at that last lap, I think. The same lap time, same speed as Ben Crooks, 26.0 from Ben Crooks. So Talborg's lapping faster than the leader on that last lap.
Well, as I said in practice, he does generally practice with his race setup, and he was able to do 25.4, I believe it was, in practice with his race setup. So if he can maintain the pace of the 25s, I don't foresee him not having a shot at the top 3. You know, considering the poor start he had, but it would be an excellent run back if he did.
But my big race, so
the big thing that's got me thinking here is, okay, you got Ben Crooks is 80 points back right now of Peter Duivelar. Duivelar sitting in 5th place. With Ben Crooks taking the pole and taking a win, what would the points difference be?
Well, he'll earn 102 points. And he'll earn 103 actually, sorry, for leading the lap, of course, as well.
Okay.
So with Dave Lauer in 5th, it's only 65 points for 5th position. So that's 38 point swing, which if you look at the driver's standings,
it's 80 points between them.
Yeah, 80 points between them. So it'd be almost halving the gap actually, which is a big gap. So the point system in this championship does reward winning races. Obviously rewards finishing as well, but winning races is that there are big gaps to be gained by winning races.
Sorry to interrupt. Stenbeck's gone around. Stenbeck went around in turn 1. You actually just go back one spot there.
Yeah, he's been passed by Egbert, Simons, and Talborg.
Who else did we lose there? Because that was 2 positions.
He's not that behind.
Ivo, Simons.
Ivo's pitted.
Oh, okay.
I'm not quite sure what for, to be honest.
Must be on the mediums.
I thought he was going with hards the entire race, but he obviously decided to go with a two-stop strategy. Because if you can go, anyway. But Stenbeck also braking, and that's often he's failing actually. I mean, I'm sorry to call him out here, but Stenbeck often just loses it under brake, and that's one of the things we've seen him do quite a lot in the racing I've seen so far from him. In WTM Season 1 he did that as well. I lost it with braking, I remember at Spa, famously. So obviously struggling in that Rover. The Rover does not have onboard adjustable bias, by the way. So
it doesn't? Okay.
No.
The
early model cars don't have the onboard facilities.
Just to point out also,
and the Volvo.
I was just going to say that Jesper's now challenging Adam for which is now 6th position with the pit stop and with Stenbeck's misfortune.
There we go, straight past him he goes. Very, very fast. Oh, very fast. I thought he was a bit fast into that first corner, and he hit the inside curve very hard indeed. Egbeer said, thank you very much, I'll have that position back once again.
No, well done by Egbeer for sure. Very, very good run. And Toby Davis is just pitted as well.
So Davis is pitted as well, so plenty of pit stops here.
Interesting.
I wonder what the two leaders will do. There is Ben Crooks, there is Stenbeck. Ben Crooks sideways once again, as he likes to be. Here is the battle for 3rd position though, Ojala versus Butcher.
Yeah, they're still at it.
Behind Peter Bartfly at the moment to lap him. I think he's pitted though. But the inside it goes. It's very tight indeed. Sideways, and Butcher almost into the back of Ojala. Let's go on board now.
Good racing.
Chris Butcher on the bumper cam of the Labatt for Sierra Cosworth. And Ojala was very quick into there, wasn't he? Plenty of speed through there. And plenty of speed out of it once again as well. Are they going to pit? Doesn't look like it to me, though they're not. It's a very tricky pit entry here, because you obviously approach very, very fast.
Look at this, look at the draft.
Here.
Muchacho! I don't know, you're thinking better of it. Ojala looks deep, he looks deep.
Ojala was very deep into there. We managed to get it sorted out. That was actually good work from him.
And Duivelar's just lurking there, you know, he's playing it smart, but it looks, I just want to see the gap now to Talbot, because these guys battling, their lap times are definitely struggling. He is now what looks to he's still 11 seconds back. So I mean, I get, even while they're battling, they're still maintaining decent times, which is about 26s. Ojala just lost 2 spots.
He did. Oh, sorry, I pressed the wrong button. Went backwards and forwards. He must have got passed by Butcher. Let's have a look on the replay if we can. He's a bit too laggy. Oh, he got sideways out of turn
nice
3,
save,
went
though.
Across the front of Butcher, and then down the straight. Dave Lard passed him as well. But
beautiful save, beautiful save. But I wasn't surprised.
Of Dave Lard into turn 7, so close. So now Dave Lard will have the inside into turn 8. And it's not the place on the outside round there. There's just no room. It's definitely one line through there.
I would say Ojala will, with that power, take that spot from Duivelar.
Should be able to draft that past again, I would have thought. Merville has pitted also as well. But there he is coming out of the pits, right in front of this group.
Oh yeah.
No, Ojala inside. Oh, he's so low the brake.
Oh no! No!
Inside of Butcher as well. He's far too late. Straight across the gravel he goes. That was ambitious for the Tommy.
Oh.
That was I'm not sure what he was thinking.
That was
there, to be honest.
we call that a bold move.
that was a bit of a move, to be honest.
Oh no, he just forgot that he had brakes.
Although he remembered he had brakes and forgot to press them or something like that. I'm not quite sure. That was very ambitious, I think we'll call that. It was ambitious.
Yeah, that's the word. That's the word. Yeah.
Ambitious but rubbish, as Top Gear like to say. But Stenbeck has got past Egbeer once again, so Egbeer's dropped back off Torborg very quickly indeed, actually.
Well,
I do
it looks like Crooks has slowly gapped himself. He has maintained 25-second laps for the past 5 laps. And I mean, well, actually, no, sorry. All of his laps, his slowest lap in the last 10 or like 12 was a 26.1. So I can't see his pace dropping enough for Nielsen to get another run at it.
Guys, just for the benefit of the viewers, I'll tell you his lap times for 3 laps, for 5 laps ago for 3 laps: 25.777, 25.788, 25.765. How about that for consistency?
Yeah, it's phenomenal. If you scroll right up through his whole thing, you go back to the last time he was had a high 26 was when he was battling with Nielsen, I believe. Yeah.
That was back in lap 2.
Yeah, he's an amazing run by Ben.
There was one 26. He's only done 3.26s the entire race, and that was lap 2. Obviously, he put plenty of battling. 26.5 also as well, but he was battling with Anderson. 26.1 and 26.2 as well. Sorry, 4 26 lap times this race. So
Yeah,
very
phenomenal.
good indeed. And Ivo Simons has pitted, but only dropped to 10th position. So it looks like the pit stop has worked out very well for him indeed, because he'll have fresher tyres for the rest of this race.
And it looks like Ojala is again on a mission to catch up to Duivelar. I don't think he's going quietly into the night.
No, but the thing about Duivelar is he's so consistent. If you make mistakes, it just costs you quite a lot because Duivelar doesn't make them.
Yeah, exactly. And we'll give Butchie a really good, he's done really well this race. He's kept his head cool. No, he hasn't done any Butchies, just driving right off the track on his own or spinning out. So, still got,
very well indeed.
12 laps to go.
Back in the pack in his first race, in Richard Welch, that's beaten Bart 5. This is what we wanted. I wanted Mervold versus Lee Palmer. The M3, over the curves, chucking it over the curves. There is a shot of Lee Palmer actually in the WTM Season 1 trailer where he's jumping over the curb. So it looks like it's something he likes to do, but he doesn't like to do that, outbraking himself into the gravel, and that's obviously not going to cost him big time because that's where you need to make up the time in those corners. And he's on the gravel again, across again, coming out of the corner. Not quite sure where that was, but you're right. Mervold does have plenty of smoke coming out of the back of that.
Battle scars.
Occasionally.
Got some battle scars on that car, man.
It's a bit of a beast, isn't it, to be honest?
Good battle between two of the slower, not slower cars, but less powered cars is Tim Brook and Kelvin van der Linde. They're in 12th and 11th.
Let's try and go back to those guys. And just
they've been nose to tail for the past, I think, 4 or 5 laps, and exchange positions. God, who knows how many times.
Well, van der Linde's dropped back a lot from Paul Bordeaux, hasn't he? They were battling early on, so van der Linde's obviously made a mistake somewhere. Bordeaux is still the best of the least powerful cars. Oh, the inside. It's scary stuff into that corner, really, as you throw your car in there. And look, almost
he's right there again.
Cars, and Brooke immediately says, "Thank you very much, I'm going to take the position back again."
Oh, again, one more time.
One more time, they go side by side. Superb stuff, and then obviously Lavender is going to be out on the outside for the next corner. Oh, no! You can try to make it.
They're both off!
They're both off the track. What are they doing? Insane, people.
Oh, good fun.
Stuff. But Brooke gets the power on very nicely out of there. Van der Linde was a little bit sideways, so now Brooke will have the draft down the straight. Here he is, looking to take the position away from Van der Linde once again. He's going to go through. Just about gets it slowed down into the chicane there, and Van der Linde has been passed once again. Superb stuff from all these drivers.
Good battling. Definitely good battling. Oh, and it looks like Ojala has gotten back by Peter Duivelar. He has said, "No, I will not let this happen."
Force of will there. Force of nature. Tommy Ojala takes the position away from Duivelar. Chris Butcher's quite a way ahead of these guys. I wonder if Duivelar made a small mistake somewhere. Because Chris Butcher definitely has a bigger gap over Duivelar than he used to have. The cars throw themselves over that turn 8 chicane. They should have put a bit more undercuts in there, I think, Keith, because they've all been shortcutting across the track.
Well, I will note one thing. I have a feeling we might have thrown a little bit of a hex on P1 because check the lap times.
Oh, as soon as you mentioned it.
No. It wasn't my. No. We were both discussing. This was a joint discussion here, Ryan.
Yeah, you started it.
No. I'm not taking the blame for this. It's 50-50 here. So you're half your fault.
You started the conversation.
He can half yell at you. He can half yell at you. That's what we're leaving it at that.
Nielsen is 3.9 seconds in behind Ben Crooks after sector
It'll watch
one.
at the next sector. It'll be 3.2 because of that long straight.
It's 3.7 apparently.
Points.
According to the time stream mile, so it's 3.9 on the plugin there, but the plugin is not working as it should just at the moment.
I can see them, but
they've got a huge gap on the rest of the field. 20 seconds these two.
Well, and also the battle with Duivelar and Ojala, which is a great battle back and forth between these two guys. Ojala's putting in a great run, but Duivelar, really handling this car when he was expecting or hoping for a top 10. He's here battling for a top 5 position right now.
He's far too modest. Everyone knew he wasn't going to go for a top 10. Come on.
No, I know. Come on. Let's be real here. It's like the last race. He's like, oh yeah, I was expecting maybe top 10, and then he scores 2 podiums.
I know.
But
2 podiums.
The consistency it shows off. That's right.
That's
exactly.
Why he's the Champions leader.
Exactly.
He's fast and consistent. Is what you need.
Oh, Thalberg has gone off the track through turn 2, which hinders his progress towards the top 5. I'm not sure if there was something to do with the lap vehicle. I'm just going to quickly look. No one's behind him. He's been putting the laps down, but I just don't. I think he's been pushing a little too hard because you can see his times have faded slightly.
He was 6 seconds in behind Dave Land. Now he's 10. So I think that was a big mistake actually. Well,
it was.
Look, see if we can actually see that into.
It would have been turn 2. Turn 1, turn 2. Overshot with a bit of the draft, maybe.
I'm not quite sure what happened. It doesn't look like there was actually any incident, but stupid lag not allowed us to see the replay. He's 9 seconds back from Dave Lar now, when he was a lot closer than that before. Nielsen's 5.6 seconds back now from Crooks. It was a 3.7 a couple of laps ago, so I'm not quite sure what happened there. Slow lap there from Anders Nielsen. Look at his lap times. His lap time was on the last lap a 26.7, so it's not terrible. So not quite sure.
If you ride along P1, I won't say his name again. If you ride along P1 and just watch his car, he's just doing everything right. Like he's not taking unnecessary risks. He's just driving clean. He's driving appropriate for the tires because it's so easy to overdrive the car when you want to gap or if you want to catch someone when the tires are gone. And all that does is it hurts the rest of your race. You may gain 0.2 one lap, but you're going to lose like 2 seconds collectively towards the end of the race because you're just killing the car. And he's just driving a very smart race, and well done on him. He's just carrying over his momentum from the last round, and
this could be 3 wins in a row. That will be superb stuff.
Well, and as you said, like it just shows that wins, how the point structure rewards wins. And the same thing was also in ATCC where consistency, whether top 5 finishes may or will not win you a championship. It's getting more wins than the guys you're challenging against.
Yeah, absolutely. And Crooks is definitely showing how to get wins here today.
Oh yeah,
of course he'll definitely be very fast at Brands Hatch as well, of course, because the Rover likes fast corners onto long straights because it keeps momentum up and then uses low drag to be fast around it. So that's obviously exactly what this track is. Apart from the first corner, it is long corners onto fast straights. So it's no surprise that Egveer and Crooks and Stenbeck have been fast here because it does suit. It obviously suits to hold them because of the long straights, but it really suits the Rover just because of the way the Rover drives. And Brands Hatch is also the same. Brands Hatch has also plenty of long, fast corners onto straights, so I think he'll be strong there as well. I think that makes him an early favourite for there. Go ahead.
So, sorry to interrupt, Ivo Simons, who has done the pit stop, is back up with his friend Stenbeck.
Absolutely, I think he's definitely going to pass Stenbeck and Egveer here.
Oh, for
he's already got past Paul Bordeaux. Bordeaux is caught right up to this group as well. Look at this, fantastic from Paul Bordeaux. That's superb.
Amazing.
And Van der Linde, Toby Davis is into 10th position, 11th position, sorry. I thought he was in the top 10, but he's not quite. I think that's as far as he's going to go.
Well, he also did pit.
17 seconds to go.
He did pit.
He did pit, but he's got 17 seconds to go to catch up to Paul Bordeaux, so he's going to have to consolidate from there. That's going to be disappointing for his championship. Yeah.
Oh, and Ivo
a lot. It's only 6 laps to go, actually, guys. That's actually flown by. Wow, how's that happened?
I don't know.
26 laps to go, Keith.
Time flies when there's some good racing going on. I'm curious to see how Simons is going to get by Stenbeck with the battling they've already had with Egbier, who is not going to want to give up real estate right now. He's in another good position for a good finish, and this is the same thing that happened at the last round where Egbier will not give you the room because he wants that finish. He wants that spot.
And so he should not. This is a competitive league. This is a league. This matters. This counts for something, and this is no quarter given, and no quarter to be expected either. And these three really are hunting down. I think Simons has got the pace though. He's got the fresher tyres, able to draft these rovers as well. And Stenbeck going to go for a move on Egbier, perhaps. No, not quite. Backs out of it at the last second. Decided he didn't have the necessary speed through there. Of course, that compromises his exit on the exit of the corner to see if Simon can take any advantage of that. He doesn't seem to be able to do so far. I think it's just a matter of time before Simons gets past because he will have a lot fresher tyres.
Oh yeah, he's just biding his time because I think he understands that Jesper is out of reach at this point. I think he understands that these two guys are the two that he needs to pass to make the most out of his race.
Yeah,
so I think he's going to be smart.
He gets around his TBR teammate David Cuthill there around the corners. Cuthill have been involved in plenty of incidents here. Today he's in, I think he's finding 21st position, so he's, in fact, everyone up to 14th has been lapped, Keith. Everyone up to 13th, has been lapped, Keith. That's incredible stuff from Ben Crooks, just superbly consistent.
He's on a mission. He's a man on a mission right now. You get the fire in your eyes.
I think this is, apart from the grief at Spa, this has been the most consistent performance of the season so far from any driver.
For sure. Definitely. Well, you know what? He handled himself well with Anders at the start. He kept his pace up. He knew Anders was there. He wasn't going to do anything silly. He was just hoping that Anders' pace would fall off enough that he could get out front, get some clean air and drive. And it just shows that he's a top-notch racer. He deserves to be at the front. And I do think he's got a shot to compete for the championship. In my opinion, I think he's going to give a run for this title this year. I really do.
Well, he's going to halve the gap to Peter Davelaar, and Brandhatch being such I think it suits the Rover more than any other car in the series. Actually,
agreed.
Thinking about it, just because of the low fast corners and the low drag of the Rover. So I think if Davelaar struggles again there, which could quite well happen, simply because of the fact that it's long corners and the Volvo doesn't quite really like the long corners.
Well, just on the same note. On the same note.
Go ahead.
Sorry, I hate interrupting. It's just on the same note of the championship. Talborg is right on Duivelaar's bumper right now, which is another. 5 points? I believe.
How on earth has he done that?
I think Duivelaar has a problem. I think because he is slowed down to nothing. I think either he's going to run out of fuel, which would be devastating, or he's going to have to pit, or he's
4 seconds behind. Well, 5 seconds.
Or he's taking some serious damage. He's right on his bumper.
He is. I'm not quite sure how that's happened. Let's look at his lap times here. Back in the 20. Oh, look at that! 27.0, 27.2, 28.6, 27.4, and 27.6. So he's having plenty of problems. Look at that! Talborg is just eating him up. What is happening to Davelaar?
And that's going to be 5 points. Is that 5 points or 6 points?
Let me just double check. It is. It's 7 points.
7 points. So we are talking. What was it? What did we say? 38. So that's 45 points.
We're
45 points.
But at the moment, Crooks is earning 103 points for pole and for leading a lap and for winning the race if he does so. Don't jinx him. Don't mention his name, Keith.
I don't even know who you're talking about.
And Davelaar's on 58. So that's a 45-point swing, which is a huge amount actually. And
in one race.
It halves the gap completely, and there we are. Talborg has got past Davelaar. Davelaar, I think he knows he's not going to be able to hold him off. Now, can Davelaar hold off Egbier, Stenbeck, and Simons? Is he got so much problem that's going to be a problem because they are 11 seconds back. I think that's going to be too much for him, but it's a small possibility. And Simons can't get past these two.
No, and Egbier is not given the room. Egbier is not given the room, man. Hats off to him for his run.
Simons and Stenbeck have raced together plenty of times in the V8s and WTM, so they know each other
We
very
just
well
lost
indeed.
Toby Davis. We just lost Toby Davis. He's left the game. So that
Through
leaves
a,
that
is
leaves
through
two.
a DNF or for some
It's
reason.
I'm not, I'll have
What's
a
it showed
look
up
here.
as? It's showed up as a DNF, so I'm guessing that's a disconnection. Poor Toby Davis. Yes, it
That really
must be
sucks.
disconnection because he's gone offline from Skype and then come back online once again. So heartbreak for Toby Davis. He drives all the way home with just 31 laps.
Oh, Simons, he
Simons
takes it.
got it. Simons
Oh, and he's gone for it.
He's going to get Egbeer as well. Go on board with Stenbeck and see if we can watch this battle. There we are.
Oh, look at this.
Very close.
What a battle.
Side by side, Egbeer's giving no quarter at all. Look at that. Look at Mirbo going
Oh,
past. He's a lap down, but he's going past anyway. Look at him.
Oh!
What's he doing? What's he
Where's he
doing?
going?
Crazy
What
man.
are you doing, man? Get the hell out of there. Come on, Mirabal.
That
You know
was-
better than
oh,
that
man.
big pink puff on the track.
That was awesome.
Oh, nice
So
move.
These guys. That was a great move.
Beautiful
from
run by
Simons.
Simons.
He was
Very
so
well done.
patient, so patient. He knew his opportunity would come. He could, he wasn't getting frustrated at all. Just keeping close, and his time came. He knew.
Yep.
He's getting a bit deep into there, trying to make a gap. But Stenbeck made a small mistake, and also Egbeer as well. And Simons pounced. He just pounced on them as well, didn't he? He just immediately.
Oh, for sure. Well, and like I said, like he knows that at this point in time, that's what he's racing for is those two positions. So there's no point. He's got all these laps. There's no point in doing something silly and costing himself a chance to take that position, right? So these guys are battling. Stenbeck looks like he's a bit quicker than Egbeer, but Egbeer's right back up on Simons. He's not giving up.
None of it, is it? The low drag of that Rover and the slipstream of the Sierra.
Oh, Simons! He's wide! Oh no!
Simons is up into the gravity.
Oh no!
Positions once again.
Oh, Simons!
Shame for
Oh
him.
my God!
What's he doing?
Oh,
dear.
I just had a feeling that Adam was just like he wants the spot. He's there. It's a top 7 finish. This is huge for Adam.
Definitely distracted, Simons. He's definitely distracted. Even
Oh,
Stenbeck decided he
Stenbeck's
wants to
looking
react.
again.
On Bordeaux, he decided he wants to get past Simons. And this is the
Oh,
penultimate
no.
lap we're on, by the way, guys. The penultimate lap. And Crooks has an 8-second lead over Anders Nielsen. Sorry the timing is not working on the plug-in quite so well as it could be. But Nielsen does have an 8-second gap on Crooks to make up. So I think Crooks is going to coast home for the win. Superb performance from him, but
Yeah.
Stenbeck is trying to get past Egbeer, but nobody can do it. Nobody can make the move stick.
No.
And even when they do, Egbeer decides he's going to put the pressure on, just show the nose in the mirror, move around.